This is a dragon girl, but where is the dragon tail? Why is the tail missing? Why are we getting a bunny tail instead, right? The answer is extremely simple. So we want to take a very nice look at her backside, so naturally the tail is going to get in the way. It is a huge nuisance. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven, and as usual today it is a Sunday, so we will be taking a look at figure pre-order news. This time around between 18th to 23rd of September 2023. As usual, I'll make use of this channel's affiliate links for both genuine figures as well as third parties. For the genuine ones, it would be HobbyLink Japan or HLJ.com, but we'll jump over to Ami as well and Nin Game for a few exclusive items. And then for third parties, it would be OzGK, and there are affiliate pre-order links for a select number of resin figures down in the descriptions below. Well, I'm not listing out every single figure I'm about to cover because there are way too many this week, especially on the resin side, and 5,000 characters isn't much to list out everything, right? But anyways, you guys can just browse around the website and search for what you want. Alright, so now we jump into HobbyLink Japan as usual. On top, new pre-orders, and then we go for figures, and then we'll remove any adult not 18 items up here. Remove that filter, though there is no difference for this week. The first one here, this is possibly one of the cheapest outer scale figures for this year. One of the cheapest, if not the cheapest. 1/7 scale Rei Ayanami long hair version from Evangelion movie. Almost 22,000 yen, coming out in July 2024. Okay, so with this figure of Ayanami Rei, I'm not sure how they are suspending this figure in this floating post with one single metal rod. Maybe the metal rod is going rather deep into her right knee over there, and I'm not really a fan of having a hole on the figure regardless of where it is. But at least it is at the knee rather than at the crotch region, I suppose. Yeah, I think the pricing of this figure is really reasonable. This is by no means a detailed or highly sophisticated figure, but for what you're getting from a top-notch figure company, 22k is fair enough. And speaking of Ayanami Rei between short hair and long hair, I think I still prefer her in short hair if I had to choose. They could have solaced the very same figure with two different heads for us to swap out between the long and the short hair version, and then, I don't know, make it 25,000 yen maybe? 25k? But I think it would have been better if we got choices to display the figure. But this one doesn't look too bad either. The next one here from Mob Psycho, 100, we have Shigeo Kageyama from Union Creative, only 11,000 yen. Well, I did not watch the anime. I heard that it was really good, but I wasn't a fan of the art style of the anime, so I couldn't comment much about this figure rather than this one. It almost feels like looking at an overpriced price figure. Of course, this is going to be better than price figure, the quality maybe a bit better, but 11k for this, I don't know, man. Yeah, we get two different heads. That is cool. And we get this thing over here. 11,000 yen is absurdly low by today's standards, but still, I'm not sure if this is justifiable at all. Yeah. Okay, so this one is coming out in October 2024. Why do you guys need over a year for something this simple, Union Creative? Well, no surprise, Union Creative has been spamming way too many figures. Like, they have a few figures on pre-order almost every week. And the next one here, same thing also. This is a re-release also from Mob Psycho 100 Regain Arataka, 11,000 yen as well. Once again, same comment. I feel like I'm looking at the price figure somehow. Of course, I could always mention things like more shading, more gradient, which is something I love in figures. But if you go by the anime's art style and how the way the figures are being designed, sometimes I can forgive the lack of such things while doing the paintwork because that is the style. However, 11k for this, once again, I'm not sure. The next one, okay, we have 3 re-releases from Attack on Titans or Shingeki no Kyojin by Kotobukiya under their art FXJ series. Now this is a really old figure, I think one of the earliest figures from this anime series. Okay, now we have Mikasa Aquaman from from Kotobukiya, 14,400 yen, coming out March 2024. And the next one we have Levi. What's his full name again? Anyways, 14,400 yen as well, April 2024. And lastly, this one, Eren Yeager. Okay, same price and coming out in May 24. Okay, with this trio of figures, if you missed out the previous release, which was so many years ago, it is a good time to pick one up because 14,000 yen plus certainly isn't much money for a scale figure nowadays. Not to mention, while I do prefer the Good Smile versions a lot more, they are really rare today and really expensive. I'm afraid you don't have much of a choice unless Good Smile changes their mind and decides to re-release the figures of Mikasa. Their Mikasa, especially the deluxe version. I think the deluxe version by Good Smile, even back then during the very first release, it was delayed by over a year. It was one of the most well-known figure delays many years ago, more than a year. Kotobukiya is not going to do that, but at the same time, in terms of the paint work, I really prefer Good Smile's finish over Kotobukiya's. If you were to ask me, is there a possibility of Good Smile re-releasing their version of Attack on Titan figures? Well, there is a possibility actually. I'm not too sure myself, but given that there are another 69 different seasons to go for this anime series, we are now in final season part 2 or part 3. There are at least another 69 parts to go, so there is still a chance that they might make it in time. I mean, they already have the molds, so it'll take them 6 to 8 months to re-release something. They'll still catch up on time, you know? Alright. And then we move on to the next figure right here. This is a pop-up rate. Nicholas D. Wolfwood from Trigun Stampede. This is almost 4,000 yen. Same comments every time. I can't really recommend pre-ordering pop-up rates, but regardless of what I say, they often top the charts in terms of the most pre-order items each week in most anime figure sites, right? Trigun, you won't find any higher quality scale figures for 20,000 yen, 30,000 yen, so this might not be a bad buy either. The next one here, we have Ruby from Oshinoko at 1/7 scale by Kadokawa, almost 20,000 yen, coming out in May year 2024. Okay, for this one, quite a no-brainer for fans of Oshinoko. This is possibly her first scale figure. I think so. I mean, putting aside pop-up rate and possibly even price figures, this is the first scale figure of Ruby to go on pre-order, and it definitely won't be the last one. We all know other brands are going to jump on the opportunity sooner or later. I do think Furio and Kotobukiya at some point will make scale figures of Ruby as well. And third-party brands might also jump on the bandwagon. I mean, they can always make a scale figure of Ruby who is already pregnant, you know? Alright. So, okay, the next one over here, pop-up rate Morrigan from Darkstalkers series, almost 4,000 yen. The good news is that this one is by Max Factory, but I would say save up more for the Kotobukiya version if you can find one for a decent price, because I'm not sure if I like the face of this version of Morrigan at all. You know, since day one when this figure was being announced and placed on pre-order a few days ago, I saw the face of the figure and I was like, what? This doesn't look that good at all. I don't know what artwork this version of Morrigan is based on. Maybe a different art style, but the Kotobukiya version is so much better. Like, that figure is a candidate for being one of the best of the year in terms of face expression. It is that good. You normally won't see me praise Kotobukiya that much, but that Morrigan by Kotobukiya was really exceptional. I know that this is only 4,000 yen while the Kotobukiya one was like 16,000 yen, but I would always prefer to go for higher quality stuff even if it meant buying lesser figures or saving up longer. The next one here, we have pop-up rate Lilith, also from Darkstalker series, also for 4,000 yen. This one looks a bit better if I were to compare their faces compared to the other one, but I'm not sure how much the Kotobukiya version is going for this character. At least the details on the wings, right, are quite decent for these two figures. Yeah, can't recommend pre-ordering pop-up parades, right? Okay, the next one here, more re-releases, this time around 1/7 scale Gen Diak Alter Avenger class from FGO. This is the casual version by Kotobukiya, only 15,340 yen. Now this is an excellent price for a figure which apparently was crazy popular in Japan, or at least that was what I heard. This Gen Diak Alter, she was at least 20,000 yen or higher than that in Japan. That is what people told me, which was quite a surprise to me, because over in China, in Taobao, she is not too difficult to find. The same can be said for this figure of Ultra Pentagon or just Saber Alter. Casual version, 12,400 yen. To me, it is a no-brainer for any Saber fan, right? You love Saber so much, you like Fate series, and you don't have this figure, 12,400 yen, go and pick up one. You can't go wrong with this. Not the best Saber Alter figure in the world, but pretty decent for the asking price right here. This is absolute bargain. Yes, the colors are kind of on the bland side of things, very monotonous, but at this price point, there is nothing much to complain about. While the colors are one of the main reasons why I don't own this pair of figures of Saber and Gen, I would still love to have them someday, at least just to photograph them as a figure photographer. And the third FGO re-release by Kotobukiya would be Tamamo. This one is Lancer version and Summer version, 15,345 yen, coming out in April 2024. Once again, no-brainer price. If you missed out on this figure, you want one. I heard this is pretty pricey in Japan as well, 20 plus and above. Yeah, grab one, grab this pre-order. But if you are still impatient enough, yes, head over to China's Taobao and grab one over there, because this figure of Tamamo for some reason is bargain binning so hard over in China. Nobody wanted this figure. You can grab one for under 600 Chinese yuan, which is crazy cheap. Yeah, I was thinking of picking up myself one just because she is going for so little, right? I used to own the Max Factory version, yeah, the Berserker Tamamo Cat version. I sold it and it was one of my biggest regrets, yeah, because once again, budget issues. After I'm done with figure photography, I sold it just to fund other figure purchases. And that Tamamo cat, it is still possible to find one today in stock, even in a local figure store, though I have to pay a small premium for it, which is why, yeah, I wish that I'm still keeping the figure instead of having sold it in the past. The next figure here is the juiciest figure of the week, the main highlight of the week. 1/3 scale, 1/3 scale. This is huge. Roxy Migurdia from Mushoku Tensei for a really affordable 25,700 yen. That is a small discount down from 27,000 yen. Now this is an incredible price for a scale figure at Dolphy Dream scale 1/3. Yeah, doll scale. And I've no idea why this thing is so cheap, because Phat Company would have gotten away easily selling this for 40,000 yen. I have no idea how Phat Company was able to get the price down so low for this figure, but I do have three possible theories. The first one being she is wearing almost nothing, so there are very few parts to manufacture. The second reason being her chest is as flat as an airport runway, so once again there is lesser material over there. And the third reason being this figure might have been subsidized by the Japanese government because the Japanese population is aging. So hopefully after seeing this figure and buying one, you guys might feel inspired. Yeah, the Japanese might feel inspired to go out and start reproducing with younger women. I have no idea, this is just my theory. Yeah, legal lolly. Do bear in mind though, even though you might be an average carny enjoyer, this is still a legal lolly. I don't think she's even human, so all is fine, right? Yeah, all is fine. If you love Roxy and you don't mind the skimpy outfit, go and buy one. This is the best value this week, period. Up next, okay, we have a dude here. I'm covering this dude because, well, this is Final Fantasy, pretty famous. Okay, so Static Arts Cloud Strife by Square Enix, 18,800 yen, coming out in July 24. Now, I haven't heard many good things about Square Enix, so pre-order one with caution. Maybe take a look at existing products by Square Enix. Not necessarily this figure, this isn't out yet, but look at pictures of the existing products before deciding. Yeah. The next one over here, we have more Dude figures. Last week, we have 2 Windbreaker figures. Now we have another 2. This is Haruka Sakura limited edition with Bofrin School flag. 18,000 yen by Union Creative. Okay, so this one is 18 centimeters tall. This is pretty small for a scale figure. 18,000 yen, 18 centimeters tall. Last week, the other 2 figures which were being placed on pre-order, there were no dimensions being mentioned by HLJ. Now that I know this figure is 18 centimeters, that means the other 2 is perhaps not too far off. And yeah, the next one here from Windbreaker as well, Hajime Umemiya for the same price, 18,000 yen, coming out next year in August. Not my kind of thing. Now, why would you hold a flag like this? Oh yeah, this might be some kind of march, maybe in a strike, you know, you are not happy with your paycheck at work, which is what that is happening over in the US at the moment, though I don't see them using flags. Yeah, there is a strike by an auto union in the US because they are unhappy with the paycheck over at General Motors, and then what was the other 2 brands? Ford was one of them. Anyways, yeah, I'm keeping up with world news as well. Not my kind of thing. Let's move on to the next figure. Okay, 1x4 scale Misaka Mikoto Japanese doll from that Railgun anime. Yeah, Toaru Kagaku no Railgun. 167,800 Japanese yen, out in December year 24. So more than a year away. Okay, for those of you who are still unaware, this series of figures by Furio, that is real handmade Japanese kimono cloth. Very expensive. This is more like buying the kimono at 1x4 scale and getting the figure for free. Yeah, something like that. The figure itself is just a very small portion of the cost compared to the outfit. Yeah, I think having 1 or 2 figures like this on your shelf might be amazing, but not my kind of thing at all, really. And I think Misaka Mikoto is quite an odd character choice to place in a kimono like this. Like, it doesn't feel compatible to me, you know. I mean, this series is all about scientific stuff, science fiction in some way. So placing something so traditional on a character from a scientific series feels a bit like a mismatch to me. Maybe Misaka is a pretty popular character in Japan, I don't know, but I certainly loved the anime so much. And the last figure on HLJ for this week, 1x7 scale Nadeshiko Kagamihara and Rin Shima from Yuru Camp. This is by Prime 1 Studios PVC figure division, Prisma Wing, going for 42,200 yen, coming out next year in August, which is a bargain. This is also one of the best values this week, together with that 1x3 scale Roxy figure earlier. I mean, a pair, 2 scale figures right here with 1 scooter and that sort of decent looking grass base. Not the best looking one, but still decent. All this for 42,000 yen. This is excellent value, no matter how you look at it. Not to mention, Prisma Wing is sort of a rather premium figure brand as well. I loved the one made by Outer, which was Rin Shima on a scooter as well, but without Nadeshiko. This one you get both girls complementing each other with a very nice pose on the same scooter. Now this is turning out to be better than what Outer is offering. Yeah, assuming that they get the figure done right, no flaws, everything is exactly as promised by these product pictures, this is a bargain. And I would even argue and say that this is the only Eurocamp figure you'll ever need, unless you want more figures of the same character from the same anime. Go and get this one, really. The next figure over here is an Ami exclusive, so this is the only place where you're going to find this figure. 1x4 scale Freeing Beast style Kana Bunny version from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, going for only 33,000 yen because, yeah, this is a small figure since she is lolly, she is really short, so naturally will cost less. Now, the moment I posted this figure on my Facebook page, yeah, haha reacts started appearing, and while those people who reacted that way did not even comment anything, it is not hard to figure out what is up about this figure because there are quite a number of unwanted and unnecessary incidents involving characters from Dragon Maid and a few other anime as well, like Uzaki-chan, over in Twitter and Instagram, courtesy of social justice warriors, saying that this is, yeah, This is so morally wrong in many ways, but who cares, right? Who cares? There were also people asking, this is a dragon girl, but where is the dragon tail? Why is the tail missing? Why are we getting a bunny tail instead, right? The answer is extremely simple. For us, average Kani enjoyers, we want to take a very nice look at her backside, so naturally the tail is going to get in the way. It is a huge nuisance. And you see, even along her twin tails over there, we are getting giant anal beads over there. Maybe they are meant to be shoved up into her backside. I have no idea. I'm just guessing over here. Yeah, but interesting design for her hair tie, don't you think? Those are really huge beads right there. Okay, let's move on to the next figure. Okay, this is also an Ami exclusive. Dai Kashoku Jidai Choco Elf. 1/6 scale by Amakuni and Ami, 24,200 yen. So this is an original character coming out in June 2024. Now, character design wise, this is more of just a dark elf in some way. I do like the character design. And the skin tone, the slightly tanned skin tone is really nice to look at for this figure. Not to mention Amakuni, they make excellent figures. Yeah. I would love to have this figure, but then, you know, priorities is always an issue. Now, this is absolutely an excellent pre-order. I like how shiny that skirt looks like. It has almost that bit of, what do you call that? That silver looking effect over there. Yeah, the kind of effect you'll see on some bodysuits. I like that skirt a lot. The next figure here, this is not an exclusive in any way, but for some weird reason, it is not on Hobby Link Japan. I'm not sure if it is because they're unable to secure a supply for this Chinese brand, a supply of the products. Just my speculation. Race Dream 1/7 scale Asaki, original character, and going for 6,800 yen, coming out in September year 24. Now, this is a really good price for 1/7 scale figure with quite a bunch of accessories, right? This is not a plain figure standing with a plastic base. Okay, she is sitting on a very nice couch over there, and then there is that pig. Is that a pig? Yeah, I think so. Playing with a Nintendo or whatever that is. 6,800 yen. Okay, if you love scale figures but you can't afford as many as you would love to have, you just want very nice scale figures, this is worth considering. I am really liking what I see over here, and as you guys saw in that picture earlier, yeah, this is pretty photogenic. If you are into making dioramas, maybe you can even come up with something for this figure, or love to photograph this figure at least. And the last figure, exclusive on Ami as well, we have Hatsune Miku Blue Archive version. Yeah, this figure, when she was reviewed in Wonder Festival last year, I call this Hatsune Miku tampon holder version because that thing she is holding kind of looks like one. Yeah, still looks like one despite being painted. Okay, so this one is going for 26,000 yen by Max Factory. So this is going to be a really good figure. Max Factory is a very respectable brand, coming out in August 2024. Alright, so with so many Hatsune Miku figures out there, which one to get, which one to avoid? Yeah, it is quite difficult to recommend, right? Because there are so many good Miku figures, like the bad ones are so few in between. I can't even remember the last time there was a figure company that made a bad Hatsune Miku figure. I think the most infamous one to me was more than 10 years ago, this Hatsune Miku Tony version. Yeah, by Max Factory. Back in year 2011, that figure was terrible. I mean, the figure itself was amazing. The quality was amazing, but the weight distribution was so bad, the support was so bad that even if there were additional supports to lift the twin tail of the figure, which was really heavy, the figure will still collapse to one side after some time. That was terrible. And since then, I can't really recall a bad Hatsune Miku figure. There were a few average ones, but the really bad ones, no, I don't think so. I really do like the details on that cruise missile she is holding. Is that a missile? I think it is. 26,000 yen feels a bit high to me. Will this bargain bin? Despite being an Ami exclusive, yes, there is still that possibility. If you can grab this one for 22,000 yen, like just get it at a 20% off, it is a solid purchase. Yeah. And then up next, we move on to niningame.com for scale figures. More like X-rated figures, right? Ninin Game is good place to get X-rated figures. Okay, the first one over here, we have original character Sucre. How to pronounce that? Sucre or Sucre. 1/6 scale by native, right? So this one is almost 34,000 yen coming out in October year 24. Now, yeah, I think we are having a lot of lolly figures this week. And this one is a really good one. This is quite a desirable figure to me, seriously. Okay. Yeah, maybe you can buy this one in preparation for Christmas next year. I mean, yeah, coming out in October, and worst to worst, if there is a delay releasing in November, December, yeah, if she comes out in December, then you might need DHL to get the figure soon before Christmas arrives, right? The next figure here, okay, so as usual, every week on niningame.com, you're going to find X-rated figures that are way too lewd for me to put on screen due to rules on YouTube, but this one at least is an exception. This one I can still put it on screen because the important parts are still covered in some way. 1/6 scale Lian original character by Insight. Now Ninin Game is bugging out again. I can't display this in Japanese yen, but 126 US dollars is about 19,000 yen, I think. Yeah. Way too lazy to convert right now. Okay. You call this string bikini. Is this even string bikini? This looks like condoms being tied to strings to me. I don't know. Yeah. Hatsune Miku wearing condoms because she is too poor to even afford a bikini. That is what it looks like to me. And the last figure for Ninin Game, we have Binding Creator's Opinion, original character Jump Rope Girl Hana. 1/4 scale by Binding, 340 USD. That would be about 42,000 yen, I think, around there. Coming out in July year 24. Now this character here reminds me of Tomo-chan. Yeah, from that recent ongoing, not more like seasonal anime that just aired 3 months ago. Tomo-chan wa Onanoko, something like that. Yeah. This really looks like her a lot. As for the figure itself, this is a bit too plain to my liking, but given that you can cast this figure off, or at least, display her with her shirt being rolled up, I think there is an option to do that. I'm not going to scroll. Okay, so this will appeal to some people, but not so much to me. And that is all for genuine anime figures. Now we move on to third-party resins over at OzGK. The first one over here, I want this one so badly. I think this is a re-release because I've seen this figure being out for sale and in stock in some websites over in China in the past few months. So either this is a recolor, a different color, or this is a re-release but a really good one nonetheless. Minamoto no Raiko from FGO by BC Studio. The full price for this one is 344 US dollars at 1/6 scale. But this is a pretty big figure at 1/6 scale. Now let's bring up the pictures right here. Oh, come on, the pictures are so small, not high resolution enough. Yeah, I would love to have this figure. Currently, we have a few Raiko figures already, one released by Max Factory. And yeah, I'm planning to buy one at some point within the next month or two and review it. And then there are more coming by Max Factory and by Alter as well. As for this version, I want this one so badly simply because of the action pose right here. Now granted, this is not an X-rated figure. You won't be able to cast off this one like most resin figures from Genshin or Blue Archive, but it doesn't matter to me. This is so tempting at 344 USD. Man, I want one. I want one so much. Okay, the next figure over here. I have no idea why this figure is being brought up again. I believe this one went on pre-order a few months ago, and yet there is no official pricing yet. This $400 is not the final price. You can always play a $100 deposit only. And there is a version B, oh okay, and version C of Your Forger. I think version C is where you get both figures, right? A deluxe package. We'll focus on this one right here by Neko Studio Your Forger at a dinner party. Alright, so this is a 1/4 scale, not going to be cheap, at least 50 centimeters tall. I would say this is a rather decent looking 1x4 scale Your Forger figure. There are many third party resin figures of her out there. Yeah, this is certainly one of the better looking ones despite that realistic face interpretation over there. I don't hate it at all. Yes, now that I'm seeing this rose over here, I'm very certain I've covered this figure before in the past. It has been on pre-order already. I have no idea why it is on the front page of OSGK again. Maybe they have extra allocation units, so they're taking pre-orders for it. The next figure, this figure of Ada Wang, is also on the front pages of OSGK. Maybe extra allocations once again, they're taking more pre-orders. I have covered this figure before, so nothing much to say about this figure. I'm not going to repeat things again, right? This is a 1x3 scale, by the way, so the pricing is actually quite reasonable for a 1x3 scale statue. The next figure over here, we have a licensed resin figure by Avalon Continent Studio. We have Albedo from Overlord Black Dinner Dress. This one is $818 at 1x4 scale, more like a grand including shipping, right? Yeah, this is a massive statue at 1x4 scale. No thanks to that throne over there. I would love to have that throne, only the throne in 1x6 scale for figure photography. Like, is there a way to get one at 1x6 scale? Yeah, I would pay for one, really. Okay, this is a massive statue, and if you want a 1x4 scale of Albedo, what other options do we have other than the Barney version by Free Ink? Not much other choices. So this is a solid option to those of you who want a really premium figure of Albedo. Though you have to pay up, yeah, 4 digits in US dollar for one, including shipping and perhaps taxes too. As for this figure of Albedo, yeah, let's hope the wings do not break during shipping. They look really delicate. And the face on this Albedo, I won't say this is my favorite Albedo figure. So far, genuine figure brands are still able to make better faces for most anime figures, right? Third parties, they still need to catch up on this. This is fine, this is not bad, but could have been better. 74 centimeters, there you go. You need a huge amount of space for this thing. Wow. Up next, okay, this is a very early bird pre-order. We get a teaser pic over here. Honey Peach Studio, Genshin Impact Night Bunny. What is this character? Genshin. Wait a minute. This is Raiden Shogun, right? I couldn't tell from this backside pic over here. This is Raiden Shogun. Looking very interesting indeed. I love the details on this figure. Now, let's wait for more pictures from the manufacturer. This is a 1x4 scale, not going to be cheap. Up next, from Seebing Studio, more Genshin stuff. Like, they are just spamming Genshin stuff at this point. Every week, there are so many of them. This is Ganyu, no price yet. This is TBD price. And this is at 1x6 scale. I'm not expecting this to cost more than 300 USD. This is just the placeholder price. This figure reminds me of those FGO figures Traveler version where each character are getting those casual outfit, travel outfit of some kind, and they look really nice, very photogenic. This figure of Ganyu is no different. I do like it a lot. Up next, okay, this is not very common nowadays. 02 third party resin. Okay, this one is by Now Studio. The full, okay, we don't have the full price on this figure yet. They can't even confirm the full price. We can't click on it, and this is a 1x6 scale. I'm predicting this to be around 200 to 250 US dollars, but when they're taking only a $47 deposit, $47, you multiply it by 4, normally it is 25%, that would be way less than 200 US dollars. And if this is below 200 bucks, quite a good buy. If this is indeed we're getting, I mean, it is always about the face. As long as they don't mess up the face on this figure, yeah, this is a really solid purchase right here. The face is not exactly the same as what we see in the anime, but still looks pretty good nonetheless. Up next, from Jihua Kongjian Studio, we have another figure of Fu Xian. This one, no official price yet, but 194 USD over here for Model A. And Model B, 382 US dollars, which I assume is a nude optional part, right? Yeah, nude option. Last week, we have 3 different Fu Xian figures. Now we have another one over here. And, oh, I see. This is version B, I think. Yeah, this should be version B. we are not getting any product pictures yet. This is a very early bird pre-order. This is also just a 3D render, but this one does not look as the other 2 or 3 figures from last week. Up next, we have another Ada Wang figure from Resident Evil. Okay, this one is $519 US, though I'm not really impressed by the details on the outfit. This is 1x4 scale, right? It has to be 1x4 at this price. Oh no, this is 1x6. 1x6 for $519 US. Really? Okay, version A, normal version, cannot be taken off. Okay, so you can't remove her clothes. Version B is removable version. I assume that is the nude version. And version C, yeah, you get parts for both versions. Makes sense. Because version A is $519, version B is cheaper. Normally, a completely nude figure is cheaper because there are less parts. And the most expensive one, yeah, you get parts for both versions, right? Okay, let's have a look at some of the pictures over here. I'm not very impressed with this figure. Just now, the other one was a bit better looking, the outfit. Yeah. If this really is 1x6 scale, I think this is kind of overpriced, don't you think? Especially for something that is not licensed. Up next, oh wow. Okay, Soda Studio Battle Damage Ishtar from FGO. This one is going for $267 US. Well, I do certainly love my favorite servants to be completely nude, but this one over here, I mean a quadriplegic, I'm not too sure. I'm not that hardcore when it comes to weird fetishes. This is way too hardcore to me. $267 at 1x6 scale is actually kind of expensive for what you're getting despite that base over there because, well, she does not have any limbs. Less parts, right? And that gold chain she is being tied to, they need to be like real metallic gold, not diarrhea gold. That looks like the color of diarrhea to me. Yeah. Just like how Bandai paints their gold color on some Gunplas, you know. The gold-plated parts, the gold-plated versions are nice, but for those that are not, yeah, you get diarrhea color basically. Up next, from NPP Studio, we have Shenhe from Genshin Impact going for $245 US. If you want to see uncensored pictures of this figure, yeah, go to NPP Studio's Twitter or X page and have a look over there. They are uncensored and they look majestic, they look magnificent, right? So this one, yeah, this is a good buy. I pre-ordered their Hu Tao, but I couldn't bring myself to pre-order their Ganyu, and now there's Shenhe too. I mean, placing a deposit on every single one of them is rough enough to my wallet. So it is such a shame that I can't go for every single figure under this series of resin figures they make, but they certainly don't look very well made, at least from these product pictures. Let's hope they deliver as promised. Yeah. Once again, Hu Tao was the only one I pre-ordered because, well, budget. The next one would be Raiden Shogun. Nice. Very nice. Up next, from Green Tea Studio, we have... Wait, this is Marin Kitagawa? Seriously? $379 US at 1x4 scale. Okay, the value is there at least. Since when is this Marin Kitagawa? Since when? Does not look like her at all. I believe I mentioned this before as well. Any anime girl with gold hair is Marin Kitagawa now. No, this is not Marin at all. Let's assume this is an original character, which I do like the character design. And if you like it, yeah, maybe go ahead and pick one up. If you don't, if you wanted a figure of Marin, then this isn't it, right? The next one here from MW Studio, we have Nami in swimsuit from One Piece at $134 US. That is 1x6 scale, 30 centimeters. Yeah, great value, I know, but this does not really look good. I mean, there are so many other Nami figures out there. Maybe explore more options before settling on this one, despite the low cost. I would rather pay more for a better figure, you know. Up next, from Cheng Studio. Okay, this is a very early bird pre-order. Like, they only have 3D renders. Cheng, or Neliel from Bleach. Okay. Yeah, 3D renders all around. And we need more pictures before I can comment any further. The next figure right here. Licensed resin figure once again. Original Athena from Solo Park Studio. $646 US. Okay. Oh, this is in stock, right? This is not on pre-order. This is already in stock. So let's have a look. No idea who this is, and I don't care. Oh, I see. Wow. That translucent wing right there, that is something new. I don't think I've seen anything like this in genuine scale figures. I suppose that you get what you pay for, right? Yes, it is expensive, but the amount of details you're getting is exquisite. Moving on to the next figure, Heads Studio Original Peacock King of Ming Dynasty. Okay, this one is going for $441 US at 1x4, right? 50 centimeters, but no scale mentioned. This is definitely 1x4. Yeah, we're just going to go through the pictures quickly. Original character, and I'm not really a fan of this one either. Yeah, this is something for those people who can appreciate art in general, or they like this kind of figure, this kind of art style. The next one here, Gimcheon Studio, sounds Korean to me. Okay, original character zombie girl. Okay, I believe I covered this figure a week or 2 weeks ago. Very early bird pre-order. Now we finally have product pictures. $267 US. And there is one with additional nude parts for $315 US. Okay. This one definitely reminds me of that Shuten Doji figure I have by QuestQ. Yeah, the Eiwei Matsui version. This is the Chinese folklore zombie, which they call, what they call that, Jiangshi, is it? Yeah. Chinese folklore zombie. I'm not sure if I like this one. I mean, I'm quite happy with my Shuten Doji, but then again, you can strip this one nude, but I'm not sure how many people out there like nude zombies. Right, moving on to the next one from Fallen Angel Studio and Stigmatas Studio. We have Azalen Racing Suit Taiho and Jongsam Suit Taiho. Okay, so you get to choose over here. $537 US, 493 and 835. Yeah. So basically, the first one is possibly the Racing Suit version. B would be the Jongsam version, and C, you get parts for both, right? Let's see if I'm correct. Oh, the first one, yes, I'm correct. My guess is correct right here, but we don't have many pictures yet. Yeah, only teaser pictures at the moment. We need more pictures. Once again, this is something for those of you who don't mind realistic faces. I'm not exactly a fan of it. Next one here, we have... Oh, for a moment, I was going to call this Boa Hancock because of that snake over there, that serpent over there. So this is Charming Empress from TDD Studio. $194 US, and then if you want nude options, $268. This is the only picture we are getting. Yeah. I was about to call this Boa Hancock. Alright. The next one here from FWS Studio and ZZD Studio, we have Kafka from Honkai Star Rail, starting from $382 US. And then there is a nude one for slightly cheaper, and then there is a deluxe version where you get both for $547. Alright. I'm not sure if I can recommend something like this. I mean, there are so many good Kafka figures, right? By now, if you watch my episodes on Figure News Weeks every week, you will know this by now. And this one feels so fan servicey with a plain black dress. Like, I've seen so many figures with plain black dress as well from Azalane, from other series like Genshin too. Why would I pick up this? I feel like I'm buying the figure of the very same torso, the very same body or outfit, and just swapping out the head. So this doesn't feel specialized enough to be a standalone figure of Kafka, if you get what I mean over here. Like, it doesn't feel like it defines Kafka enough as a character. Yeah. The next one here, another figure of Imbibita Lunae. I think there has been quite a number of his scale figures out there already. This is by Absinthe Studio. Oh, I think I covered this one a week or 2 weeks ago as well. Now we're getting one picture over here. We need more pictures. No price yet. Yep. But Absinthe Studio, they seem to be making great stuff. I think I do have one figure from them on pre-order too. The next one here from D King Studio and DJI Studio. I'm not sure if it is a good idea to call your own studio DJI when there is another company in China itself which also go by the very same name. They make drones and other filming equipment, you know. Anyway, back to topic, we have original top 10 torches of the Qing dynasty. Wow. I suppose that this figure will be appealing to you guys who love slavery. I have no idea. Now, there are all sorts of torture fetishes over here for you to choose from. I actually do like this caged human over here quite a bit. Yeah, not because I like caging people, but I want the prop right there for photography. I'm always looking at things from this perspective of a photographer. And when I see a very nice prop, I want one. Yeah, that rusty, old looking cage over there, I like it a lot. Up next, from Lala Studio, we have Genshin Impact JK Uniform Kamisato Ayaka. This is going for, okay, no official price yet. Version B, something lewd again for sure. I'm not going to let the picture load right now because I don't want to censor it. Okay, so Kamisato Ayaka in school uniform, well, really depends. I think this is her second resin figure in school uniform. There was another one, I can't remember the figure company name anymore, but that one has the option of 1x6 scale and 1x4 scale. Between that version and this version, yeah, this one looks a bit better, I think. The next figure over here, I think this Raiden Shogun over here, I'm not sure if it even looks like Raiden at all, but if you prefer her but without the legal age part, this figure is perfect for you. $400 though, and this version A, where she is in a bath towel, and then there is this version B. Wow. For those of you average Kani enjoyers, I think this is probably my 5th time mentioning this word because there are so many lolly figures this week on both sides, the genuine ones and the third party ones. Up next, from Jingxi Studio, we have Android 18 from Dragon Ball. This is very generic looking, but at least very affordable at $153. Now, this one, I do like it. I mean, it is simple, nothing much going on, but it really defines Android 18 as a character. Like, this is what she looks like in the anime and so on. I like it when things are being done this way, instead of those pointless, unnecessary fan services just for the sake of it. Up next, from Dragon Studio and Pop Studio, we have Asuka and Rei from Evangelion. Okay, there are so many options over here. Starting from $994. Wow. Okay. I suppose I'm not going to read out everything. Okay, version A is Battle Suit version. Version B is Bikini version, and then DLC or extra parts, eye patch head. So you pick your preferred combination. Makes sense. Now let's have a look at the pictures of these figures. Now this pair of third-party resin figures do not look third-party at all. They look really good. They look like something made by legit figure brands. I'm actually quite impressed. Is this pair of figures the best Ayanami Rei and Asuka figures? No, definitely not. But I mean, the accuracy of the face sculpting and pretty much everything else on this figure, this could have been easily mistaken as, yeah, a genuine figure brand, right? Yeah, the bikini version, really, I don't see a point, you know? Don't waste money on the bikini version. Like, just go for the battle suit version and you will be more than happy. Up next, okay, like I said before, I don't normally cover dudes, but this figure impressed me quite a bit. So I'm giving him a bit of attention. From Illegal Factory Studio, we have Katekyo Hitman Reborn, a classic. Old anime, but had a remake like a year or two years ago, I think. Yeah, there was a remake, a new anime adaptation. This is Sawada Tsunayoshi version 2.0. So there was a different version before this, one that I was not aware of. $265 at 1x6 scale. Okay, let's have a look. Will we be able to remove the clothes on this figure to have a look at that huge dong over there? I'm not sure. I'm saying no. Probably not. Now this looks amazing. Okay? I think for classic anime fans, this is a really good buy. Yeah, of course, not car stoppable, but doesn't matter. Now that I see the face and I see the details in his hands, yeah, this is quite a good buy, really, for 265 bucks. Seems like the initial impression I got when I was scrolling through a page of figures and then I saw this dude figure, I was thinking, hey, not bad. And then I clicked on it. I guess my intuitions were correct. This looks kind of amazing. Yeah. The next one here, we have Saber from Fate Zero by Prism Studio. This one, no official price yet. This reminds me of that Aniplex version of Saber. Yeah, that one got a re-release and I was thinking of picking up one at some point. Not very rare since the re-release. I'll take my time and buy one when the timing is right. So this is the only picture we have over here. Looks quite nice. And this version of Saber, compared to the one by Aniplex or by genuine figure brands in general, I feel like I'm watching her, looking at her wearing makeup. Don't you think? Like the lips and the eyelashes and so on. Yeah, it feels like she is wearing a thicker layer of makeup than usual. Still looks great though. Up next, from Infinity Studio, we have Miss Fortune from League of Legends. Okay, this is a licensed resin figure going for 1,044 US dollars. 1x4 scale, of course. Yeah. Okay, so let's have a look at the pictures. Wow. Look at the fine details on the outfit. Looks like real fabric, real leather, the texture. This kind of texture is really difficult to replicate on PVC in general. So you need a harder material, right? Resin or even polystone. I'm just going to take my time and browse the pictures over here, enjoy it, because there is no way I can afford something like this. So I'm just going to enjoy the pictures. Just a size reference over here, quite a substantial statue. The next one over here, okay, this is an interesting figure and I would really love to have one, sadly. Okay, Imagination Studio, we have Raiden Shogun and Yaimiko as her pet of some kind or slave, alright? Okay, the price is still, not yet confirmed, but nude version 194, game version 287 US dollars. SM version 382. Yeah, this one right here. This is incredible. This is fantastic. I like this one so much. And then there is the Supreme version 537. Okay, I assume you're getting this one along with more optional nude parts. Okay, let's have a look at the figures. I think the one that is attracting me more is this figure of Raiden Shogun. I like this one so much. So far, there has been so many figures of Raiden Shogun from third parties, but they are mostly realistic interpretations. They look like real human, right? And this one, this anime face, I like it so much. Yeah, Yaimiko as a pet right here. This is... Not enough pictures, man. Not enough pictures, unfortunately. I need more pictures. Okay, let's have... what? The cost of a game version, okay, 287 for Raiden Shogun. I will consider it. I will consider it. The next figure over here of Yaimiko, super deformed, or the cute version as I call it, by this studio, which I am a bit unwilling to pronounce or mention the name on YouTube, because I don't know if YouTube filters offensive words based on audio detection. So I'm playing it safe over there. Not to mention that word over there, if I'm not mistaken, that is actually a racist word towards the Chinese, at least over in the western side of the planet. Personally, I don't care at all as a Chinese myself. I am one of the most racist people on this planet you can find. I know every single insult for every single race of human beings on this planet, and I wouldn't even mind insulting my own race. Yeah, right? Yeah, I make a lot of racist jokes with my friends. That's the thing, right? Most of us, we don't care, right? We just laugh it off. Okay, so back to the topic over here. This is 80 US dollars almost. But then again, I mentioned this last week as well. CGI renders, not a fan of it. We want to see the actual product picture. Yeah. Moving on to the next figure, we have Y Studio Naruto Tsunade and Jiraiya. Okay, this one is, once again, one of those fetish figures. Starting from 130 US dollars, and then there is 248 for this pair of figures. And with DLC, which means with the nude body options, right? Quite obvious over here, up to $332. Okay, so we take a look at the pictures over here. The sculpting on the body is quite nice though. Come on, give us a front view. Give us a front view. I believe the DLC version, she will be sitting on that schlong over there. That is my guess over here. The reason why we are not getting more pictures is because this is pretty much a very early bird pre-order as well. Just that we have a price quotation already. Up next, another early bird pre-order, Raiden Shogun by BP Studio. We only have teaser pictures. Okay, let's have a look. Wow, I think this is a realistic interpretation again. I mean, look at the lips of the figure. You can kind of tell we're getting a realistic face, not an anime version face. Yeah, we need more pictures before I can comment any further, but the teaser pic over here is certainly really promising. The details on the outfit is, perfect. Next figure, another early bird with only a teaser pic. Animals Universe Studio Original Sinful Incentive FBL Lady. 800 USD, not an official price of course, 1x3 scale. Okay, 1x3. 800 bucks makes sense. Okay, I have no idea why they are calling this FBL instead of FBI. Must be the trademark, right? Trademark violation. I still prefer the name FBI though because it stands for Female Body Investigator. Yeah. Up next, we have Yao Ming Ming Studio Genshin Impact Furina. Is this the first figure of Furina from any company, including the third-party resins? I don't think I've seen this character before. Okay, $190 for version A, version B 210, and version C 283. Of course, you get more accessories and the nude parts. Obligatory. Okay, let's have a look at the pictures. This is 1x6 scale at this price. I'm not that big of a fan of the character design here, and that couch or chair she is sitting on, yeah, not very nice looking, don't you think? Maybe we just have to wait for a better studio to make a figure of the very same character. It will happen at some point. At Sim Studio, Imagination Studio, maybe they'll take up the character sometime soon. Up next, from ACY Studio and XPIC Studio, Azalane Bunny, Musashi, and Shinano. Okay, this one they are copying Outer's homework a bit, right? With the boom squeeze on the pair of figures. Okay, so this one, Shinano only $504 must be 1x4 scale. Musashi 490. Okay, and then Musashi Deluxe, which includes the nude parts, 578 double version. There we go. I told you guys they copied Alter. I think Alter did a pair of Azalane figures with a very similar, if not exactly same pose, at 1x7 scale. And then double version black color. You know that girl on the left, Musashi, right? The way she is bending her waist backwards, wow, that looks really painful. I hope her backbone is okay. I hope her waist is okay. Up next, we have Dragon Studio and Pop Studio, Robin from One Piece. This one, $379 starting price, $460 for this version, and then $688 for both. Okay. Let's just click on the pictures, shall we? Every week there is at least one Nami or Robin figure. At least one. I'm surprised we don't have any Boa Hancock this week, in fact. Okay, they actually look nice. Not bad, not too bad. I don't collect One Piece, but I can certainly appreciate these figures at least. Up next, from Sunday Studio, we have Alice from Goddess of Victory Nikkei, only $132 but I can't recommend this at all. Does not even look like Nikkei. And if you insist on getting a figure of Nikkei, I would rather you buy that Super Bunny figure by this Chinese brand. What was the name of the brand again? Yeah, I mean, just go to AmiAmi or HLJ.com. Yeah, go to HLJ and search Super Bunny. Yeah, this one right here by this Chinese brand, this thing is 21,000 yen, so affordable, and despite being an original character, she looks a lot more like Alice compared to this third-party resin figure over here. Go and get that one. That is a really good figure of Alice. Yeah. Up next, oh, okay, we do have a Boa Hancock this week. I must have forgotten because there are so many figures this week for resin. Ken Studio Boa Hancock, okay, 245 US dollars for the red version, and then there is the white version, and then deluxe, 264 US dollars for nude version, of course, of course. This version of Boa Hancock actually looks quite fine. I like it quite a bit, but I've seen a better version, mainly for the face part. And man, the forehead on this version of Boa Hancock is really large, big forehead right there, between purple and white color. Actually, both of them look quite nice, right? I'm not sure how to choose. This is quite tough. Up next, we have two different figures of Anya, being the Liberty statue by CR Studio, right? Okay, this one 77 US dollars for original color. Sculpture color. Oh, okay. Why would I want this? I mean, yeah, sculpture color. If this is going to be a stone statue of some kind, they should have made the figure matte finish. This is too shiny to be a rock or stone statue, right? Yeah, they need to give this a rougher finish to the surface. But this is something indeed very interesting. This is very interesting. Never seen anything like this before. Full price 77 US dollars. Up next, we have another figure of Anya with the same concept. I don't know who copied whose idea over here. This is by PG Studio. Small scale 85 US dollars, large scale 284. And once again, they even copied the concept of sculpture color. And in terms of sculpture color, I think the finish on this one is a bit better. It doesn't look as glossy, as shiny. But in terms of the color, I like this slightly bluish tinge more for the color. So no winners over here. This is better color. This is better texture, right? Okay. So for the small scale and large scale, oh wow! The large scale is 50 centimeters, and I almost want one just as a background prop for photographing other figures. I just can't see myself spending over $300 for a Statue of Liberty with Anya's face on it, but I certainly can see this statue being useful for my figure photography work. Now this is a bit tough, but at the same time, I don't think I need to pre-order one because I don't see this one being popular enough to become completely sold out after release. The next figure here, yeah, something degenerate. We have original Demon Princess Lulu Strawberry Milk Nana Dark Chocolate Milk. Okay, by Odd Studio. Original character, I think. Starts from 245 US dollars for either Lulu or Nana, or this is Nana, okay? And you can get both for 456 US dollars. I don't really understand this whole vending machine concept of placing girls inside a machine and making them nude. Like, maybe they are dispensing milk right there. Yeah, dispensing milk. This is not the only figures where they are being placed inside a vending machine. I think there was a Marin Kitagawa figure with a very similar concept, and many others, Genshin too. And I have no idea why people like stuff like this. For me, I would love just a normal vending machine once again as a figure photography prop. This one, no. Not my kind of thing. Okay, moving on to the next one from Dear Lord Studio, we have King of Fighters 14. Yeah, 14. Angel. Licensed resin statue. Wow, 1,300 US dollars. 1,300. 1x2 scale. Okay, that explains. 1x2 scale. This thing must be 80-90 centimeters tall. Not a very detailed figure. I mean, the face and the hair, but then, yeah, I can see texture on the outfit at least. Come on, not enough pictures. That is so unfortunate. Yeah, almost 1 meter tall in height. 97.8 centimeters. Damn. Up next, from CR Studio. Wait, did I cover this figure last week? I can't remember. There were so many chibi figures last week. Hu Tao, Genshin Impact, CR Studio, and $99. Once again, this is CGI. I want actual product pictures. And the last resin figure for today from OT Studio and Yuan Hao Studio, licensed resin figure, Fights Break Firmament Medusa, $756. Okay, no idea what this thing is. Must be one of those Chinese manhwas or light novels or games, either one. Usually that is the case. So yeah, something like this will only appeal to those who know something about the franchise this character is from. Couldn't get any more Chinese than this, right? The character design. Yeah. Impressive amount of details. I can certainly appreciate things like this. And yeah, these are the only pictures, and that is all for figures on pre-order this week. Which figure interests you the most? Let me know down in the comments below. Yeah, a lot of lolly stuff this week, man. I want some of them, I won't lie. Which one to get? Yeah, I mean, given that they are not FGO stuff, other than that Minamoto no Raiko figure earlier, the third-party resin one, the other ones are more like nice to have but fine without it kind of thing, you know? I'm still trying to decide whether to get a 1x3 scale Roxy or not. I'm normally not into giant figures, but that one, 1x3 scale, 25,000 yen, that is pretty hard to resist. Yep. That is all for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please do give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more figure news every week on this channel. Until then, I'll see you guys again very soon. Goodbye.